Trish Brown.
Thank you, Damien. D, contest chair, ladies and gentlemen, don't you love it when a speaker gets up and presents us with a challenge that I'm sure most of us are going to find a little bit difficult. I know I have a lot of annoying people in my life. And how did Dee set up that challenge for us? She had a lot of wonderful skills that she used today. I particularly enjoyed the way she tied her title into the speech and started off with that folk tale about the gentleman who had a spiritual guide who was someone very annoying. So it immediately explained what her purpose of her speech was. And the techniques that Dee used throughout the speech that I particularly enjoyed was the way that she was able to convey everything in a calm, authoritative voice. She was sharing things with us that we could take in. I particularly liked that she was able to contrast things. So she talked about rudeness and patience. She talked about being nasty and that really they just need to seek to understand people. So they were concepts that we know but we find very challenging. I also enjoyed the fact that Dee shared the story of us about her mother and her life, because you could see that connection and where it came from. And I thought when Dee was able to express that emotion and then to pause calmly, collect her thoughts and carried on, that really I felt connected with the audience. It certainly connected with me, Dee. Well done. I liked that she used repeating phrases. You know, she told us her mum was a grump, and then she repeated it a bit further on, and then she told us she was a grump. So that technique of repeating things helps to keep things familiar with the audience. My first suggestion for improvement, Dee, would be in relating to using your voice and your body to emphasise things. Like it would be really good to talk about annoying people and finger pointing by adding to the voice and adding to your gestures, because that would carry just that little bit of extra emphasis that we could really picture those people, because we all know annoying people. And my second suggestion for improvement would be to perhaps add another story in about your mother. Just a very short story that, because you said we're reflecting back, you knew your mother loved you. So maybe an example of something that demonstrated that. I think that would just round it off. For me, the best thing about the speech was the emotion and everything that you shared with us. So just to sum it all up, I liked Dee's calm, measured approach, her way she could express emotion and tell stories and offer choices to things. Consider adding more emphasis to your speech with gestures and vocal variety and perhaps a little extra story about your mum. But I enjoyed the challenge that you threw at us, and I, for one, am going to perhaps think about treating those annoying people in my life a little bit differently. Thank you, Dee.
Thank you very much.